everyone. I'd like first of all to thank you for listening. Let me start by saying just a few words about myself. I'm Arij Al-Hamdan. Today I'm going to present my literature review chapter. So as you see on the screen, our topic today is the contribution of multisensory processing to working memory performance in children from birth to 12 years, a systematic review and meta-analysis. I want to start by answering this question. What's bring me to this topic? My research in particular is interested in multisensory integration, auditory, visual, and audiovisual, and how it affects cognitive development, such as working memory. First, taking a look at the research over the last 50 years, multisensory processing has been demonstrated to be advantageous and to enhance many behavioral and cognitive processes, which in turn are essential elements to improve higher level cognitive function, such as processing speed and working memory. Secondly, multisensory integration also is evolutionary. That begins early when babies turn their heads and eyes in the direction of a sound source. It's fundamental for any child who has a normal hearing and vision, and provides the foundation for various aspects of their later learning. So let's begin with the definition of multisensory integration. Multisensory integration is defined as a neural interaction of multiple streams of information resulting in faster speed of processing together than for either sense alone. For example, when a child wishes to cross the street, simply looking left and right for incoming cars is not always sufficient to make a safe choice. Sensitivity to additional cues, like a noise generated by an approaching car, will also guide their judgment and may save their life. Let me now turn to working memory. Working memory is the component of the human memory system that is responsible for perceiving, integrating, and storing incoming information. More specifically, multisensory working memory is defined as the number of perceived multisensory objects, items. There are three distinct aspects of processing and integrating information in multisensory working memory. First, efficient retrieval of information. For example, in some studies, children were able to retrieve more words and items when auditory and visual stimuli were presented simultaneously. Also, allow stimuli to be recognized and remembered more accurately. And final response times. Of this review, provide of current available evidence regarding between migration and memory. Second, precisely estimates for group between multisensory working memory compared with. Now, coming to the first, in terms of registry, review was performed with the conducting system.
I think the internet was disrupted while in presentation. Okay, she is online again.
Sorry, there is something happened with the connection. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do hear you. Please, you can proceed again.
Sorry.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine. You can proceed.
This is the last one. Okay. Okay, so all studies that reported correlation and group differences between multisensory information and working memory. In terms of the first aim, the correlation, data from all eligible studies that reported correlation coefficient between multisensory and working memory was extracted. In terms of the second aim, data from all group differences, from all studies reported a group differences between multisensory working memory and working memory was extracted. So the AXIS tool were used, and the statistical analysis were conducting using Stata software. Now let's move on the results. I'd like to start with the Prisma flow diagram. As you can see here, an electronic databases search yielded a total of 3,968 studies, and one study was found via other sources, and the titles and abstracts were reviewed in accordance with our eligibility criteria, and this process left a total of 18 studies that were included in the present review. Now let's move and look at figures of meta-analysis results. In terms of tasks used in correlation studies, verbal multisensory tasks required participants to verbalize response, either be semantic or non-semantic. And visual auditory working memory has been assessed across studies using digit span and listening span. As you can see, in this figure here, result of audio-visual integration showed the overall correlation was 15, indicated a positive correlation between semantic multisensory integration task and auditory working memory. Heterogeneity across the studies was low. In visual only modality, stimuli presented in the same multisensory task that have been mentioned previously, but required participants to respond to visual only. Results of these studies showed a small relationship between unisensory visual only and auditory working memory. In auditory working memory, stimuli presented in the same multisensory tasks, but children asked to respond to auditory stimuli only. Results, as you can see here, showed that significant positive correlation between auditory unisensory and auditory working memory. Last group here was the reaction time tasks, in which children make a timed response to audiovisual integration stimuli. The bold correlation was -42, indicating faster reaction time of multisensory processing lead to higher auditory working memory performance for both digits and span. There also were a low heterogeneity score across studies. As you can see here, panel plots was conducted using Egger's test to explore possible publication bias, and a low likelihood of publication bias was found. Sorry, I don't have enough time to explain all my figures. Therefore, we will have a quick look at the discussion and conclusion. First, with the correlation studies, the outcome, semantic multisensory stimuli are most highly associated with auditory working memory performance. In fact, several studies in adults and children consistently reported that the recall of multisensory verbal items produce a more significant effect to auditory working memory performance than that visual only. Second, faster processing speed of multisensory integration tasks more likely to increase auditory working memory performance. If we just go back to the story, I told you in the beginning, these results very consistent with the literature in adults and children, which multisensory integration resulting in faster speed of processing together than for the sense alone and enhancing working memory performance. This is my references, and I think that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for your very interesting presentation.